What's up, everybody? It is Lepiid here, and today I am joined by Sporty, and the series we will be casting today is Anima's Minions versus Boost Goblins. Both teams are under Custard Crew Gaming, and Sporty, what do you think is going to happen in this matchup? Indeed. I am very excited to watch this match. I mean, I know my emotions don't really show that right now, as I'm trying to fix my webcam because it's not showing. There we go, you see me. Haha, can you talk now, Sporty? Tech issues.
Can you hear me now? Can
There you
the stream
go.
hear me now? I guess the better question.
It says you can.
Hopefully. It says that they can? Great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm back. Hi, everybody. I mean, I was just commenting earlier that we need some emotion here. This is Grand Finals. This is a big match here this season. This is the biggest of the season. Yeah, people can hear me. Good. Again, this is Grand Finals. You mentioned it. Anima's Minions. KCG Boost Goblins. This is a best of 7, by the way, Leopard. But the thing about it is it's only one series. And Anima's Minions, they did beat the Boost Goblins earlier 4-0 in the winners' quarterfinals. They did beat them there. That's why they have the game advantage.
Indeed, and that means it's technically a best of 3. I mean, a best of 5 for Enos Minions because of their run through the upper bracket, getting to that upper grand final spot. Meanwhile, the side of Boost Goblins have to play a full best of 7 basically against Enos Minions with a game down already.
Yeah, of course. Playing a game down, never an easy start for any team here, especially for the Boost Goblins who have not beaten the Animas Minions. Didn't even take a game against them earlier when it was an even series. I think that should benefit the Boost Goblins, though. They've had quite the low bracket run. They've had to go through 3 straight matches, including a Game 7 not that long ago and Starlight in the losers finals. So they've battled to get here. Boost Goblins definitely don't want to leave without putting everything on the line.
Indeed, let's talk about the lineups real quick for both teams, Sporty, before we go through predictions. We got for the side of KCG Animus Minions, AK and Fire. And then on the side of KCG Boost Goblins, we got Mason and Flame. If you don't recognize Mason, it's because Sprinkle recently changed his name.
Yeah, of course, as you mentioned as well here. Such a solid roster of the Boost Goblins here, but you mentioned Anima's Minions, AK and Fire. Very solid roster. I mean, there's not much that's going to slow down the Anima's Minions with I've been playing against such an aggressively well-played team. They've got a really good offense, and they just complement each other really well. That's what happens with these top teams. It's not about individual ability as much as it's just about being able to really complement each other, really play to each other's strengths. And it's one of the reasons why Anima's Minions do so well is because these players, not only are they good, they complement each other. They play to each other's strengths very well.
Indeed. Now let's get into predictions here so we can go talk about the match more in depth in the caster booth. Sporty, who do you think is going to win and why?
Well, we'll see about this. I think Minions should win this matchup, is what I'm going to say here. The question I think is going to be how one-sided or not one-sided is it going to be. I mean, Anima's Minions are definitely the better team. They beat them earlier 4-0. I think it's going to be a 4-1. I don't think they're going to have to get it off to the start they wanted to. They've been gone for like a good 2 weeks after winning their winners finals, so they've been waiting quite a long time for this matchup. I would not be surprised if Boost Goblins take the first game against them, but I think Anima's Minions are the better team. They showed it earlier against the Boost Goblins, and if they do that again, this should be a pretty quick series. I'm expecting it to be like a 4-1.
Indeed, but as the casters love to do on the desk typically, I gotta owe up to the boys in Orange and Boost Goblins and say they take it in 7.
Well, I love the little underdog prediction. We always need a good underdog prediction, and to be fair, it's only one series, so you can absolutely turn this one around. But again, it'll be interesting to see how they'll perform, but it's not the only grand finals that we've had happen so far. We've had a couple. We've had, I think, one go on so far. In the pro bracket, the bracket below this one, Boost beating the Elites 4-1. So So far, the upper bracket teams have done pretty well, but it is 1-for-1. We'll see if it's 2-for-2 or if it's 1-for-2 afterwards. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to what we get to see here at the end of the 2v2 bracket. It's been a long final bracket. I mean, final brackets generally aren't that long. I think the only other tournament that really has brackets this long in their finals is Blackline, and they also do double elimination. So, very interesting to me to see a final bracket go on this long, because it doesn't happen often, but it really does make every game matter that much more, and especially grand finals like this, after having waited weeks to get to this point, it definitely feels like it's well worth it now.
Indeed, and it's just going to be a tough battle for Boost Goblins just to go into this series, with starting with their first game down, and then coming from Anima's Minions. You just gotta win 3 games. That's all you gotta do. It's basically like the seasonal matches, which they did excellent in. They only finished, I believe, second in the technical group, which Starlight took that #1 seed because they went undefeated, which Starlight is now out because of Boost Goblins. So maybe Boost Goblins can come and show how they won against that #1 seed.
I mean, lower bracket momentum's a real thing. That's the major reason why they were able to take on Starlight, is because they had that lower bracket momentum from the last 2 wins. It's so easy to play against someone after they come off of a loss, but it's definitely tougher when you play someone after the last match was a win, and that's the case here with Anima's Minions. But they have waited a little bit. I think if you're Anima's Minions, the keys to success here is not starting slow. If you start slow, you're not going to come back in this game. It's going to be really tough. But if you can start off well, again, just like what we saw from Boost, not too long ago with the pro bracket, expect that kind of performance. Expect them, if they're going to start off hot, they will find success. But again, that really does come down to, I think, if Anima's Minions can play hot, can not play slow, cannot slow down too much. If they play with speed, if they play with a good amount of aggression, they have the advantage against Boost Goblins. They can beat them. We know they can. It's just, are we going to see the Anima's Minions that are going to beat this Boost Goblin side?
Yeah, and like you said in the desk earlier on, Animus Minions do have the upper hand with that upper bracket quarterfinals or semifinals. I don't remember which one they faced, but they swept, which will have the confidence side for Animus Minions. They already won against them once. They can win against them again. It's only a matter of who wins today on this field.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It is grand finals, and it's only 1 match. Unlike a lot of double elimination tournaments this long, it's not bracket reset, so it's only 1 series to really prove yourself here. So, very important that you get off to a good start now more than ever, because it's only 1 matchup, and really, if you don't play well this series, then that's it. Your run is over. So, I think there's a lot more pressure on Anima's Minions, actually, in this matchup than there is for Boost Goblins. Anima's Minions are the favorites. They've already beat this team before. They went through uppers. But it's a whole different position when, you've got to, you got to really battle from the position that they were at. So, they've got a lot that they're going to have to do.
Indeed, and like you said, Animus Minions have this long streak of wins in the upper bracket, and Boost Goblins just play it off of their win against Starlight, which was a very long series, but it is a new week, it is a new team, and you just gotta face it from the first game that you play against each other to see what the other team decide to change, and go from there.
Yeah, as we have still not seen any of these teams. I don't know I don't know where the teams are, but they haven't shown up yet. So we'll wait on them to show up here. But what a match this is, surely to be. I'm looking forward to it here. But yeah, while we get these teams in the lobby, neither of them have shown up yet. What a match it will be here. Actually, we've had somebody shown up. We've had Mason show up, so at least somebody's shown up.
We have
so
Boost
far
Goblins.
here. Yeah, Boost Goblins are here. Minions have not shown up yet, so we're waiting on them. They should be here in a few minutes. They're probably out practicing, is my guess. But again, the Boost Goblins are here. But again, we'll wait a little bit for Anima's Minions. But again, I'm looking forward to this. Boost Goblins are such a fun side to watch. I'm really looking forward to them being in here in this matchup, because I think, simply put, seeing Noah, aka Flame, and Mason in this lobby will be, again, very exciting. This is a duo that absolutely deserves to be here when they play through that lower bracket. Now they just gotta make sure that they do it one more time, and really turn everyone's heads around. And I think, as you mentioned before, this is very doable for the Boost Goblins. But I think it all comes down to how Anima's Minions play, or maybe not play. If they don't show up in time, this could be a forfeit.
it could be a forfeit, but you know, no one wants to see that as a grand finals.
Well, they are more than 5 minutes away from from forfeiting this matchup. I really hope we don't get one in this one. You know, while that's happening, actually, I'm gonna go ping them. Why not? See if they're actually here or not. But well, we'll try to get them in the lobby here. Again, I think this is gonna be a very, very fun matchup. But again, we're waiting on Anima's minions. They should be here any moment. Hopefully, they're just practicing and they're just running a little bit late. As soon as they're here, obviously, we'll get the match underway for all of you. And again, reminder, starting in Game 2, Anima's minions do have that 1-game advantage. But again, Boost Goblins are here. They've been here since the match start time. Anima's minions should be joining us any moment. So, kind of before we get in this thing here, I mentioned already about, you know, the players that I want to see in this matchup, you know, like Flame, for instance, and Fire, who I think are going to be really interesting players to watch. is there anyone you want on this field that we should be watching? Because you've seen Boost Goblins specifically so far. I think you've also seen Anima's minions. Is there anybody on this field that you really think we should pay attention to?
Honestly, for the side of minions, we need to see AK perform. I haven't seen much of that throughout. I've only seen, like, when Fire, or I'm forgetting his name.
Flame? I believe it is.
It's on minions. Flame is on goblins.
Flame's on. You're right. Flame's on goblins. It's Fire. You're right. It is Fire.
Fire needs to work with AK in order to shut down the strong offensive that showed out from Mason in this series against Starlight. Starlight has that strong defense, has that strong comms, which is why it went to Game 7. But let's get this series underway finally. And technically, game number 2. Sporty.
Yeah, we've been waiting a good amount of time, but hopefully it will be well worth it here. Anima's minions stick to the blue. KCG Boost Goblins on the orange, and you said it. And I've said it before, this is Grand Finals, this is it. The championship is here. And as mentioned before, Anima's minions with a 1-game advantage. will not look to drop this very quickly. And they've been waiting, we've been waiting a while for them to show up. But now that they are here, you mentioned AK. Gonna be a person that shows up, and you mentioned as well AK. And how he's had his inconsistencies at time, but against the Boost Goblins, he's pretty comfortable with this roster. They've beaten them already in the upper quarter finals, and oh sweet, I'm sure they're going to try to manifest that once again here in the grand finals. And with a 1-game advantage, if they can win a game early in this series, they'll be off to a good start.
Indeed. And it's just going to be back and forth in the first minute of this game, number 2. And as I say that, Mason gets the first goal of game number 2 here, and takes the lead for Boost Goblins. Minions, no one back there, and Mason just shot on a nearly open net, taking the lead, and Minions are behind.
Yeah, they are behind early here, and I said it. You want to get off to a good start if you're the Minions here, because you've been waiting a couple weeks. They haven't played in about 2 weeks in this tournament, so they've been waiting quite a long amount of time just to get to this match here. As up goes AK, will be on the dribble, Mason to clear. Back up is Anima's minion still with the ball there. Not a great first touch, but no, not a good touch either. That one's going to be wide open, and it's going to be Noah in. A second goal for the Boost Goblins, and Anima's minions a very slow start considering that they took so long to get into this match. I don't know if they're practicing before this series, but it doesn't look like it.
Indeed, and I know Boost Goblins probably grabbed a scrim beforehand against the team that he won against in the lower finals of Starlight, and more than likely had a warm-up, but they had that stall time in between the time that it took Anima's Minions to get here, and Anima's Minions starting out game number 2 very slow with very huge and major issues. But as I say that, Fire takes the ball into the air, scores a wonderful double touch into the back of the net, and Mason had no boost in the tank.
The Anima minions that we wanted to see in this matchup, a team that's not afraid to get up in the air, not afraid to get in your face. They felt very timid at the start of this game, really didn't get anything going. That is a little bit more like it here, as we're going to see more of that from them. Simply put, it's going to be one of the ways they can really beat this Goblins team, because they're definitely the more aggressive team than just about anybody else in this tournament. But They need to really make that aggression count and really make it lethal. If they can find ways to score consistently as they have in the past, they'll find success, but they're not the ones with consistency right now. 3 for 4 are the Boost Goblins, and in Game 2, this is an exceptional start.
Indeed, Sporty, this is the best start you're wanting to see out of Boost Goblins, punishing Anima's minions for their over-aggression. And that's exactly what you want to see out of Boost Goblins in order to come out in this series on top to win the grand finals. But minions have to turn that around, and they have been known to continue to be that aggressive play style of a team, and they have a chance of shutting down that Boost Goblins defense. So this might be a very high scoring game, Sporty.
So I haven't seen them do it yet so far in this game mode. I don't think they have shown any of that so far, and I would be very, and I mean I'd be very quick to say they have not shown us that they can shut them down just yet. Anima's minions are going to need to do a lot more. They're going to need to do a lot more to really prove to, I think, anybody out there that they can shut down that defense. The play midfield, shot away by AK. Here goes Mason up in the air. Little fake play under one. Now gets around the other. 4-1 now as Mason sends it by the last defender, and the Boost Goblins continue to impose their will.
That was a crazy fake play coming out from Mason, faking out one defender, still has full control of the ball and just puts it over the last player of Anima's minions, and Anima's minions are down by 3 in this game number 2. They have to start scoring very soon, or else they will see a dominant into game number 2, and that's a crazy fake coming out from AK, and now they kill the deficit down to 2.
Well, it's only 1 goal back, but it's a better performance here, AK. Finding room, and so far all the goals from Anima's minions have been 1v2 plays. Not the kind of way you want to play this grand finals, but at least it gets you something, and at least it's something that Anima's minions are good at, but they definitely need to find ways to get those passes going. Is off the kickoff! Well, they won't get much time to get away from this one. Noah with a second this game, the 5th for KCG Boost Goblins. And even after that last goal, Boost Goblins are doing one thing that Anima's minions are usually pretty good at, and that is connecting and finding passes, finding ways to really help each other. We haven't seen that yet from Anima's minions. We have sure seen a lot of it from the Boost Goblins.
Indeed, and Anima's minions have to start getting out of their half more, using each other more, or else this defense and offense coming out from Boost Goblins will continue upping their lead and shutting down any attack Anima's minions will pull out on them. As I say that, Fire has an opportunity here, passes it over to AK off of a 50, and AK puts another shot into the back of the net.
It's going to find its way through as well. Another goal for Anima's minions. 2 behind KCG Boost Goblins, and with about a minute and a half left, they still have easily enough time to have some sort of answer, but they got a lot that they're going to have to bring here as Mason takes it back. Ooh, Fire's gonna shoot this one! It's an opening! And Fire takes it! 1 goal back, a big mistake, and Anima's minions are only 1 away.
You could tell that was not the touch that Mason wanted to get off the corner, and Fire was just waiting there and just flicked it over Mason because he was awkward heading back, and that just allowed Fire to put it into the back of the net, and now it's only a 1 goal lead for Boost Goblins. But as I say that, Boost Goblins start out their own attack here late in this game, trying to take this lead back up to 2. Mason continuing controlling the ball. He wants to make the offense and defense from minions awkward, but that's an overcommit coming out from Goblins, and this game is now tied.
Big opening here, and it's a little awkward as well. Mason, who really wanted to find Noah, got bumped into that pass backwards and left the net wide open. Noah never read it, and Anima's minions back in this game. This is, as I mentioned before, the Anima's minions that we need to see. Aggressive, in your face, not giving you room. They were so tepid earlier, but this is a lot better so far. As here goes Fire. Back wall. Noah tripped off the back wall. It's still in front. Will be no challenge from AK. Is now kept out. Fire chasing back. 30 seconds to go as Anima's minions play the defense. Mason challenged. Fire to the back wall. Mason again can't really put that one on target. Still asking questions as AK to clear. Noah waits. AK still towards the net. Mason can't get it. Fire just high. And AK's out of position. The shot's on. It's in. 6-5. Boost Goblins lead.
That was a wonderful save coming out from Mason on the backboard. He had no boost in the tank, just barely able to block that shot and clear it out towards his teammate Noah, who was able to cut off the AK's mistake of pushing a little bit too far forward, and that allowed that goal to go in. 5 seconds remaining. This is the last chance for Anima's minions to score and tie it up and bring it into overtime. AK off the backboard, but Noah blocks it. Mason already up, kills it. Goblins take game number 2 and not allow the Anima's minion squad to take an early 2-game lead in the series.
And I mean, this is a big win for the Boost Goblins. They definitely needed this one. And they needed that slow start from the Anima's minions earlier as well. Anima's minions had a very slow beginning to this game. They didn't really get their goal started until, you know, almost halfway through. Simply put, that's too much time that they took to get those chances. They're going to need to do a lot better at getting goals earlier and, well, not more often, but definitely earlier to really make this easier for themselves. Simply put, game 2, too slow for Anima's minions, and that's why the Boost Goblins now have evened the scoreline.
Indeed. And now this is all about Anima's minions, bounce back, trying to earn back their spot, but we will find out here.
I don't have too many doubts about what Anima's minions can do. Last game I mentioned that they could likely come into this match slow. Now it's about being able to pick up the pace here. And what we saw at the end of game 2 was absolutely the Anima's minions we need to see. Now they're just going to make sure they don't start out that slow and that they do that throughout the entirety of a game. Throughout the entirety, Boost Goblins are not going to win it nearly as easily here as Noah. Early save will be jumped on by Fire, but Mason clears it away. AK all alone here. Can't get the challenge on Mason. Fire waits as clear back by Noah. Anima's minions stay to it as Fire has an option midfield but can't find the pass, and it will be Noah and Mason who will work together to get this one away as they'll take the offensive chances. AK waiting. Noah, I don't know what that was, but it wasn't very good, that's for certain. And it will be an easy block as offense now for the Boost Goblins.
Boost Goblins continue on their attack, trying to get their first goal in this game like they did in game number 2. Mason, off the backboard, is not able to double touch it into the back of the net. Fire pitches out to AK. AK puts the ball down the field, but Noah puts it back on the side of Anima's minions, and Fire has to take control of the ball here. Takes it up. Mason already pre-jumps it, able to 50 it over to his teammate Noah, waiting in the corner. AK waiting for Noah's opportunity there, blocks it away, but Mason back on the ball, has to leave it here, and Fire going up in the air dribbling it, has an opportunity, gets it over Mason, and Anima's minions strike first.
Beautiful from Fire, because he does not get a great lift on this, in all honesty. He really has to do a lot of the heavy lifting in the air on this air dribble, but he finds a way just to use everything he has just to get a little bit more elevation, keep that ball up in the air, make it a lot tougher, and hey, with that extra touch at the very end there, as you said, a 1-goal advantage now for KCG Anima's minions. And in a game 3 as important as this, for Anima's minions to get that momentum going, to get yourself moving in the series earlier rather than later. That's a great first goal to get here, and a great first goal for Fire, who is going to certainly want more like that.
Indeed, that's a good demo coming out from Mason. Noah has full control and space over the ball. Fire with an early pre-jump. That's what you want to see out of Anima's minions. Mason goes for the cycle, but Fire's able to put a shot on. Noah able to clear that one out for the time being. AK back on the ball, gets beat out from Mason. Fire doesn't get contact here. He has to pitch it out. Oh my god, what a pinch. Mason back on the ball, pitches it up. And Noah has to put an early shot on, but AK takes the ball away. It gets beat out from Mason. That ball's on target. Good save from Fire. And Noah continuing on the pressure for Boost Goblins.
And Noah's just staying on the play, not letting anything happen, but he's even found the goal here as AK whiffed on an open chance. This is one that AK will want back, because there was nothing scary about that. It just bounced off the post awkwardly. That's one I think AK will want another chance at, because that wasn't a very difficult bounce. It's just, unfortunately for him, he didn't read it.
And now Anima's minions might have a little mental break from that one, trying to bounce back from it early here. AK with a shot on, but good save from Mason. Fire, back on the ball, takes it back into the air. This is where his advantage is, and he scores off of an aerial attempt off the ceiling. That's a great play coming out from Fire. Noah had no boost in the tank on the backboard, and that's why that ball went into the back of the net there.
Perfect positioning there, even with no boost. He's in the right spot. You gotta be on the back wall there. You gotta be ready for that shot to come into any point of the net, especially off the back wall. Not a very uncommon place for that play to go, but what a shot there. That is incredible placement, and really not something that you can do easily, as Anima's minions will take a 1-goal lead, a narrow 1-goal lead, but it's a 1-goal lead nonetheless here, as another chance on, saved away, will be kept off of the net here, as back to the way go the Boost Goblins. Maybe their chance, no, it stopped early. Anima's minions the other way, Fire as AK midfield, but nothing made there. Mason will hold on to this one as off the sidewall. It's Mason. AK to challenge, still keeping it away right now. A defensive move from Anima's minions, but they're not looking to stay on defense for too long. They don't like being back here, that's for certain, and they definitely don't want to stay back here for too long, well, especially with a 1-goal lead. But Boost Goblins aren't letting them go so easily. 30 boosts left. Here goes Mason, flip a reset. Saved away by Fire, and now he'll get the challenge on Noah. Just trying to waste out time. 1 minute to go, and it's Boost Goblins still looking for their chance. Infield, this one rolling. Fire will keep it out. Nerves of steel there. Mason wanted that challenge. Fire never gave it to him.
Indeed, that was a close opportunity for Boost Goblins, but they still need a goal to bring it into possibly even overtime or score, to able to score even in regulation. But Noah gets it past one. He goes for a double touch off of his own. That bounces down. That's awkward for Mason. Fire clears that one away, but Noah is able to catch that one. Not the touch he wanted, though. He's able to get it past AK for the time being. Mason carrying the ball, and he tries to put it center for his teammate. That shot's over, and Anima's minions starting to kill the clock. 2 seconds remaining. Here's a shot opportunity coming from Mason. Mason on the backboard. Misses. Noah shoots. Scores. We go into overtime.
Moment for the Boost Goblins for certain. Mason, recognizing AK, just didn't have anything left. Forced him to that first block, and Noah from here on out at open net. That's a clutch play, and a tough shot for Noah, because while it's right in front of the net like that, you like to take those shots on the bounce. It's way tougher to actually angle that correctly, but he gets it done. The Boost Goblins, as you said, evening the scoreline here. It's overtime for the first time tonight in game number 3. The pressure is on. The shot's on as well. AK with the first save. Mason waiting. Now he can go. Fire to go next, but it's a great challenge win. Can't clear it away, though. And won't get the bump either, as Noah, long touch. AK without boost. Can't go initially. He's got a light touch on this one, but it's Mason still to the sidewall. Second. Fire waiting. Mason will push back. Fire will go upfield. Anima's minions not looking to drop this game so easily.
That's a good clear for the time being from Mason. AK back up for the ball. Doesn't get contact there. Fire. Last man back. Mason opts to go for the bump. No one's not there to shoot that. That was a great opportunity coming for Boost Goblins. Mason doesn't get a shot there. Fire able to carry the ball for a few seconds there before getting challenged from Noah. AK dribbling the ball. Trying to give it over to Fire. Fire with a shot on. That's an opportunity to save it for Noah, and it is. But that goes right into Fire's hands, and Fire shoots on the open net. And now, Anima's minions take back their game lead.
Exactly what they wanted as well. That's the Anima's minions special. I haven't mentioned too much about their infield passing, but it's something I've seen before from them. That's a great time to pull out the infield pass too when you need a goal that desperately. It is a big point to get that play to work here. But you mentioned it, a game advantage now for Anima's minions all over again, but they've really had to work for it here. This has not been an easy match, and credit the Boost Goblins at getting swept before. They're not going to get swept this time, and honestly, this could be a much longer series than it was last time around.
It could indeed, but the only thing that I am worried about coming from Boost Goblins that when AK was clearly dribbling with no boost, no one went for that for the side of Goblins. They could have just ego challenged with the side of KCG minions pushing up a little bit too far there, and that was an open opportunity from Goblins, and they just could have shot that there and could have taken the game away. But now Boost Goblins behind a point in this series and have to be coming back here.
Well, this might be longer than 5 games than I expected, and I'm all for that here. That's a great first idea from the minions, just putting shots on, not stopping from last game's aggression. As AK, we kind of outran this one. We'll want to fire, but there's a bit of a disconnect here. Fire will still have it, though, as the fake. Well, he gets over Mason, but he doesn't really have any options here, as AK actually, while he did leave, and well, obviously he could have won that challenge. It's a smart decision not to go. A lot of risks here. You don't want to take any this early in the game, as Anima's minions waiting back. Fire. Chased down by Noah, still has this one, as Mason next to it will not go instead, as Fire. Challenge won by Mason, still goes Fire. Back wall, no second touch, but AK not leaving the play alone. Fire is waiting, the play in the midfield. Mason with no boost, with few options, will at least force the play to the side wall and force Anima's minions back a little further, not let them have that counterattack that so far tonight has definitely been lethal at times.
Indeed, and Boost Goblins showing why their defense worked against Starlight, but Anima's minions will continue that offensive pressure, trying to get their first goal of this game, trying to even out the series once more. Noah trying to pinch it towards the net, but it goes off target, aka able to take control of the ball. Noah's on target. The ball here for Boost Goblins. Mason goes for it, but Anima's minions continuing on the pressure. Both players from Boost Goblins have no boost. Mason puts a shot on. Fire has to clear that one away, and AK will try to 50 against Noah, and that's a shot on for Fire. Minions take this game 1-goal lead, and Boost Goblins just with a small overcommit in their own corner.
Over just without boost, you mentioned it, no boost, and that means it's really tough if you lose those challenges to get to them. I honestly think if we saw a boost there for, what was it, Noah that was in the backfield getting that challenge, if he has boost, he was almost able to save that thing with nothing in the tank if he had just a little bit more. That's a block, and he would not be in the wrong position there, but you mentioned it, no boost, really tough to recover, really tough to make things happen, as now goes a bump. Fire's gonna have a second, but well, this was pretty easy for Fire. It's AK who deserves the credit. What a great play to set up his teammate.
Indeed, that was a good bump coming out from AK. Fire just was able to wait it out, wait for the bump, and just shooting on the open net because of that great play coming out from AK. That's exactly what you want to see from Anima's minions with that team play, with that aggression, not allowing Boost Goblins to get comfortable on their back lines. That's a good backwards flick for the side of Anima's minions. Mason with the whiff. Fire decides to go for that, which probably is the wrong decision to make there. AK controlling the ball here, tries to get past Mason, but wins that 50 out, has full possession of ball, tries to get center for Fire. Fire takes it up, and it's over. Mason clears it out for the time being. Both players from Boost Goblins have low boost once again. AK doesn't get contact there, and Boost Goblins take the deficit back down to 1.
A little awkward play here for Noah. He was expecting a much stronger flick than that, but and when he noticed the flick really wasn't going anywhere, just went for the bump instead and forced AK to jump over him. And because AK jumps over him, he can't recover, he can't get back quick enough. It may have looked a little silly, but for the Boost Goblins, it's a goal. That's all they care about. And in fact, now it will be 2 goals as Noah off the kickoff now. It's a tie game already, and in a span of maybe less than 5 seconds, the Boost Goblins are already back in this thing.
Indeed, they're already back in this, and we see why you can never slow down your play, slow down what you want to do, because the other team in the grand finals will do anything they can to come back in the game. And That's exactly what Boost Goblins did here. Mason tried to beat out the defenders for Anima's minions on his own, but good save coming out from Fire. Fire with the breach up on Mason there. And Noah's able to get that back into the side of Anima's minions for the time being. AK clears it out. Mason, back on the ball, decides to control the ball, has full boost in the tank. It's just Fire left. Mason goes for the fake, but Fire reads it completely. Noah, back on the ball, puts it center for Mason. Mason shoots, scores. Boost Goblins are up by 1.
3 goals straight for the Boost Goblins here, and this pass from Noah is right on top of Mason. No chance for AK, no chance for Fire, no chance for the Anima's minion to stop it, and the Boost Goblins, 3 goals straight. It's their lead, and with so little time left, this has completely swept Anima's minions off their feet.
Indeed, but there's still plenty of time for Anima's minions to come back in this game, and you want to see Boost Goblin score another goal to take the lead up to 2, but AK is able to clear that one out of trouble for the time being. Fire clears it out. Noah will go for contact here, trying to dribble it out, and he gets it past 1. Fire, no boost in the tank, able to pick up that mid-right boost, and Noah has the shot opportunity. AK blocks it out. Mason puts another shot on, and there's a 2-goal lead with a little under a minute left here. And this is when you start to think, how will Anima's minions bounce back now?
Well, you said it's just a bad touch. A bad touch here with a minute to go. 2 goals down. Anima's minions have really not been able to keep the offense moving from the very first part of this game. They've slowed down, they've gone quiet, and unfortunately in the grand finals you can't afford that even for a second. AK saves it. Fire can't go for the boost, will have to go for the ball himself. No, on the demo, shot is on, but it will be kept out by AK. Now to the back wall. Room for the Boost Goblins as they'll take control and they'll wait for their turn. Fire leaves it. Mason will keep it away, and with time running out, KCG Boost Goblins just playing for time to even the series, to guarantee at least a 6th game in this matchup, as AK saves away. Will be Fire for another chance, but for KCG Anima's minions, they have not scored since the very beginning of this game, and they won't score for the very end of this game either. This ball will, well, actually stay up for now. Eventually it will hit the ground, and we're going to Game 5 with an even series again. Match point to be determined in only 1 more game.
Indeed, Sporty. That's an almost shot there coming out from the Goblins into the back of the net. And as you say it, Sporty, Goblins just evening up the series once again. Minions have to try to win this next game to take it to match point to possibly end this series in 6. But Anima's minions Boost Goblins are proving that to be a difficult task today for the side of Boost Goblins, and we will see who will take match point in game number 5 and who will have to bounce back in 2 games, Sporty.
Gonna be at least game 5 to determine who takes match point. This has proven to be a longer grand finals than the other one we had in the pro division here in Elite. It's game 5, a guaranteed 6th game in this series. It's now a question of who will take match points, and well, the way the Boost Goblins play, the way Anima's minions have played. So often I mention how important the first goal is. It really feels like the first goal is going to be everything this game. Now these teams have played that first goal can be something, but it really comes down to, I think in this game, not even the first goal, but who's going to have that momentum shift? Who's going to be the one to turn this game around? It really does feel like a battle of individuals working together, and I think it's still going to be a battle of individuals as this game progresses. There's a miss there from Mason. Fire to maybe look for goal 1. It's a big save for Noah off the mistake from his teammate as well, saving the Boost Goblins some headache as they'll now go the other way. Mason on 1. Oh, he's looking for the fake, but it is AK to save. Noah can't score. And for Anima's minions, not out of defense just yet. A good showing so far, but the Boost Goblins have control.
Boost Goblins continuing their pressure coming from the last game, even it up. That's a good shot opportunity coming out from Boost Goblins once again. Anima's minions starting to go down on fumes, but AK has an opening. Mason was not expecting a shot quite yet, and that ball's in the back of the net for minions.
Yeah, Mason there, he's covering the front post, and well, the front post isn't going to be where they're shooting at, that's for certain. In that position, just goes at net, knows that Mason's not covering it. And Mason, I think, realizing too late he was not in the right position. I think he actually went for a boost, that's why he was so far out to begin with. But it's the first goal of this game for Anima's minions, and well, that doesn't say anything considering we just saw last game happen. We'll still have to watch and find out here as AK saved by Mason off the corner. It's Fire, and that's an opening in the backfield. Noah will be there, but you gotta be a bit more careful if you're Noah. Now he's missed the ball. AK looking to take out Mason. He's out of position, can't move, and it's Fire for a 2-0 scoreline.
Like you said earlier in this game, we saw this exact thing happen in the previous game. Anima's minions take the game up 2-0, but Boost Goblins take it back. But like I said earlier in the series, minions had to kind of keep up this consistent pressure onto Boost Goblins to not allow that to happen again, and that's what they've been struggling with all series, Sporty.
They've been definitely struggling at times here, but you can't struggle for too much longer with the pressure on. Mason bumped out the way. Noah looking for the bump, won't get any part of it here as they immediately kept away by Fire. Goblins down by 2. They've come back from this deficit before, but obviously the Anima's minions are going to make this very tough. They know how important this game is as AK makes it 3-0, just tanks that challenge in front of the net, wins it. And well, there's an open net between him and the play, and he'll take it.
That's a double commit coming out from Boost Goblins. A little bit of miscommunication there. Mason had a free touch to at least the corner, but Noah also jumped for it, went flying because of it, and that led to an open net for, I believe it was AK. And now Anima's minions are up by 3, and Boost Goblins have to come back in this game with a 3-goal deficit. That's a good save coming out from AK with a great shot coming out from Mason. Noah off the sidewall trying to put it there for his teammate Mason, but AK with a good block. He has low boost in the tank here, has to wait out a challenge. He does that, and Mason flies for the ball. Noah will beat out the defense for Anima's minions. That's an opening for Noah, and he takes it with a great bump attempt coming from Mason onto Fire in the back line, which is why Noah was able to win that 50, because he had all the momentum going towards the net there.
Took his time, took his chances, and he's at it, taking the bumps, making sure they count. But this match is still not over just yet as another shot in. Fire with another 4-1, and for Boost Goblins, all that hope they had is now completely taken away from them. With this goal from Fire off the kickoff, it is already a 3-goal advantage again.
Indeed. Now, Anima's minions just need to keep this up. They weren't able to do it last game, but now it's looking like they are. But Boost Goblins will continue on their offensive attack there. Noah able to put the ball into the back of the net and starting what they were doing in the previous game, and once again, they are down by 2.
Well, another position where they've got to keep pushing here. They are closing in as best they can, but the problem now is going to be time. 2 minutes. They don't have a lot of time, considering that these games have not exactly been super high scoring to begin with. Not a lot of time here for the Boost Goblins to find those 2 goals. They're going to need to make their chances count, because they're likely not to get too many of them for the rest of this game. And again, with how little time they have left, they know they've got to work quickly.
And that's not how you want to start quickly there. As we see Fire having another opportunity on the net. That's a good shot coming out from Mason with low boost, but AK was able to save that one out. And time is clicking. Noah with a pre-jump trying to block out Fire's attempt to get down the field to possibly score another goal. Mason trying to read the corner double there. Noah will take this ball all the way back, and time continues to tick. Noah trying to get down the field, but Fire will block that opportunity. AK will take that ball away from his teammate, but that ball is nowhere close to being in the net for the side of Anima's minions. But Boost Goblins continue trying to get down the field. Mason down the field over to Noah. Noah with a redirect. Fire with the block. Mason doesn't shoot that ball into open net. And AK will take this ball the other direction. And that might be a mental killer for the side of Boost Goblins, as that was an opportunity to score. And Anima's minions now shooting another shot on. 40 seconds remaining. Take the lead back up to 3.
Big miss from Noah. Really, that was Noah's goal, and he missed it completely. He had the net open. He knew he had to get a touch on that play, but shooting it wide, it's about the last thing you want there. And this goal for Anima's minions will all but surely end this game. 5-2 with 40 seconds left. Unless something magical can happen, this game is going to be the way of Anima's minions. Fire to clear. Noah still on it, but he just can't get anything to happen. AK with time, with a player up ahead in fire, looking for 6-2. They'll make it 6-2, and this falls in front and in. Bruise Goblins have all but given up. Anima's minions are going to take match point.
Indeed they will, Sporty. And this is exactly how much pressure you see from Anima's minions stealing that boost amount, not allowing Boost Goblins to take that boost. As soon as Boost Goblins get that boost, they could be a dangerous team to play against. But as I say that, Boost Goblins will take a third goal, trying to take that momentum for themselves, taking it into that game number 6.
Them out here too much. 18 seconds. Anima's minions are going to be on not only match point, but tournament point to win this event. That one game advantage really came into handy for them to stay involved in the series up until this point. Now from here on out, they're just looking to take over. We're going to go to game 6 up next. And for Anima's minions, this is their first time tonight where they can win the tournament, the Elite Division. And a strong storyline here, 6-3, kept it away from Boost Goblins the entirety of this game. Now in game 6, they'll get their first of potentially 2 chances to win this thing.
Indeed. And this has been a great series so far, coming out of Boost Goblins. And now late in this series, Minions bounced back, taking this previous game 5 into a dominant game and having match point for their own instead of giving it over to KCG Boost Goblins, which now Boost Goblins have to win 2 games in a row to take the grand finals away from the Anima's Minions squad.
3 goals is not what I would call a dominant win, to be honest, Lepiid, but it is dominant in a series like this, considering how close every single game has been so far. Here we go, game 6. Anima's minions can win the tournament here, can win the division in 6 games, but to do that, they've got to take it here, and well, we'll see if that happens. For good Boost Goblins, they have no chance. They've got to win this game to win this series. They have no other opportunities, so it's game 6. We go. Anima's minions, their first chance to win the Elite Division, and here it is. Boost Goblins must win to keep the series alive. For Anima's minions, though, everything is on their side. They've just got to make sure they play their cards correctly one last time. Infield pass. Here goes AK. And Anima's minions already off to a strong start. The pass connects, and AK with an opening.
That's a great opening coming out from Anima's minions. It's exactly what you want to see if they want to take it in 6 games. But Boost Goblins struggling on kickoffs, and their defense with the amount of boost that they keep on getting as the shot opportunity coming for Fire. Fire shoots, scores, and now they're up by 2 early in game number 6.
The problem with a kickoff this badly is that you don't have the boost to recover on defense, so you have to commit for something, and you know if you don't get that touch, it's an open net, and that's exactly what happens here. Mason didn't have enough from the tank, missed his touch, and well, it's a tough touch to begin with here. As this is another play off the kickoff. AK at an angle there. I'm surprised he didn't actually score that one. But instead he'll take it back and play to his own back corner as waiting is Fire. Cleared away. Mason to hold on to it in a 2-goal lead. Infield pass. Here goes AK, and he's not even close. That is wide of the net. And now the other way, 2-on-1. Up ahead, Mason bumped, but it's gonna go in. He slides it under Fire, and Boost Goblins are 1 back.
That was a great play coming out from Mason, just dribbling the ball down the field. Fire was getting chased from Noah, I believe, and that just left the net wide open. And we see Boost Goblins starting to bounce back in this game, and this could be very dangerous for the side of Anima's minions here.
Chance there, a pass to Mason, nearly connecting. Anima's minions feeling that pressure now after about a minute of gameplay, but it's a good chance. Mason just gets on the end of it. Fire. No boost. Mason just sends one on, and AK, I thought he missed that for a second, and not exactly have a great leap for it, and it's a great jump from Fire. He doesn't have boost. It's such a tough play to make, because if he gets faked there, he doesn't have any other options, so he has to guess correctly. But a good decision, or I guess the right decision, maybe. Maybe not one that he was happy to make, but making those blocks nonetheless here as Fire. Still no boost. AK will bail him out here as Fire on the respawn. Near post. Mason has an option on the back post. Will just go himself. Save away. In goes Noah. Double commit, but Anima's minions will keep it out of here. Fire. Well, it's a bit of a heavy first touch. And Boost Goblins will hold on to it so far. A good amount of back and forth. Really feels like that this heat is completely picked up, and that next goal is not too far away from us. Fire! This might be it! It's gonna bounce in! It's gonna be off the post! It's still in! Off the crossbar! And it is just kept out. I thought that was gonna be 3-1, but somehow the ball finds its way to stay away from the net.
Mason not putting it off the backboard for himself, but he doesn't get contact there. Noah has to wait for a challenge coming out from Fire, and he does exactly that. Noah continuing on the pressure for Boost Goblins, trying to break out the pressure. They have low boost in the tank. Meanwhile, Anima's minions have all the boost in the world. They can take it down the field. That's not the touch coming out from AK Fire. Up to AK, but Mason able to control the ball. Gets Fire to be awkward. Forces him to jump. Noah back on the ball. That's an overcommit coming out from Boost Goblins. Mason puts it back over to Noah. Noah trying to put it center, but good clear coming out from AK. Mason back on the ball, but he takes it up into the air. Fire will jump up first, get to the ball, and he will continue getting the ball out of his half. Noah passes it over to Mason, or attempts to, but AK blocks off that passing option from even happening. AK over to Fire. Fire doesn't get contact. AK decides to leave it, and we continue seeing back and forth gameplay in this later half of this game. That's a great fake coming out from Noah, but Anima's minions defense continuing to stay strong. This game has continued to be a low scoring game, Sporty.
Couple of minutes here. Something's gotta change if you're either of these teams. Something's gotta break. Noah. Well, maybe this will be the option. Maybe only one player is needed to find a way through. You think of those 1v2 plays. Anima's minions had a couple of those early on in this series. They're pretty good at 1-on-2, even if it's not the position you want to be in this series. As Mason, back wall, save away. Noah doesn't have the boost. Now he'll go. Shot, save. Fire holds on. 1 minute left. Anima's minions hold on to the ball. Hold on to the lead. The series, the tournament could be theirs in just 3/4 of a minute.
And Boost Goblins continuing on the pressure, trying to even up this game to possibly even get to that game 7. But they still had to score 1 goal. Here's an opportunity coming from Mason. That's off target though. Noah will continue on the pressure, trying to get past Fire, but Fire with a good block there. AK controlling the ball. 20 seconds remaining. Has a double touch opportunity. Gets a center for his teammate Fire. Fire jumps, and Noah has an opportunity to take the ball down the field with Mason chasing, and Fire clears it away. 7 seconds remaining here. Pass over to Noah, and that's a tied game right there. Great play coming out from Mason, seeing Noah cross the map, and AK awkward in the goal line. Noah able to place it anywhere he wants, and able to tie it up. And this, we could see a possible overtime or a goal off a kickoff here for either side. That doesn't happen, so we will probably see overtime. That's a great play coming out from Fire. Noah clears it over. That ball is down. We are in overtime. It's either do or die for Boost Goblins, or Anima's minions could possibly take the series here.
The tournament says AK on an early chance. Mason can't get to it. Noah's up next. Fire doesn't see the ball. It's AK on Mason. AK does dribble. It's an open backfield. Who's in the midfield? It's AK still. Noah the block. Fire's got room. Nobody challenging. Fire's all alone off the back wall. And AK will leave it away. An early flurry of chances, but none going in for Anima's minions. Game 7, a real possibility, but AK to end it, double command on their side, off the back wall, Fire can go, he'll win the challenge, it's AK, it's open, it's over, Anima's minions win it!
That's a great play coming out from Anima's minions. We saw a double commit on AK's full map air dribble to double reset, and that made that goal happen for Anima's minions. And KCG, Anima's minions, take this series in 6, and congrats to both teams for making it sporty. It was a blast casting it with you, and that was just an amazing series to watch.
Matchup, I think both of us didn't expect it to be this, well, I guess you expected it to be a long series, but 6 games, Anima's minions, who, I mean, they got off to a slow start. I actually feel like I predicted this pretty well. They got off to a really slow start in this series, but by the time the later part of the series came on and got going, they picked up the pace, they picked up the speed, they played like we know they can, and if they play like we know they can, clearly nobody can beat them. So 6 games was all they needed. The championship is theirs after 2 whole weeks of waiting. They perform as they needed to, so huge for them, important for them. They take that championship, and again, what a performance for this team. They definitely were asking for it, definitely need it, and they proved it here tonight. Anima's minions, a deserved victory over their KCG competitors.
Indeed, and that will be it for this stream. I gotta go warm up for my match later tonight. So congrats to Anima's minions, and congrats to Boost Goblins for making it this far, making a great run in the lower bracket. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.